Hello, I'm Cone.
And I'm Dave. We're in SUM41. We're in Berlin. It's beautiful here. And you're watching Allschools.
First of all, thank you very much for taking your time to do this interview with me. And today is your first show in Germany of this tour. And I think you've been yesterday here before. Have you done something yesterday here in Berlin?
You did some walking around in Berlin.
Yeah, I walked around a little bit. But it was a pretty mellow day. It was cold. Mm-hmm. So, this tour has almost been a month long, so it's nice once in a while just to like hang out and do nothing. And, we've been to Berlin a lot, and I've done a lot of sightseeing here, so I figured yesterday was a good day just to like chill out.
Just to relax.
Yeah.
Last October, your album 13 Voices was released. And I noticed that you are in a band again, because after over 9 years you're back. And so tell me, how did it happen?
Derek and I had started rekindling our friendship, and then eventually there was talk about coming back to the band, and then we had to figure out how to do it, and it was a big long process, and it just kind of organically grew out of rekindling the friendship, which was great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Nice to have you back, by the way. And before you recorded this album, you went away from your old label because you've had some issues or stuff. And then before getting to a new label, you just decided to do a crowdfunding project. So tell me about this. Why a crowdfunding project?
Us and Island Records kind of split. So we didn't have a label, and we figured... we're pretty involved like on social media and stuff with our fans anyway, so we thought maybe this was like a cool way to engage them more in making the record, and our manager kind of approached us with the idea, and we liked it and started coming up with ideas on what to do, people could buy so they can be a part of the album more and stuff like that, and it worked out really well. And then when that was all kind of done, we started shopping for labels, and then Hopeless Records was really interested, and they were fans of the band. They knew everything about the band, and we signed with them eventually. So it all kind of like worked out really well.
Okay, so you've chosen Hopeless Records because they wanted you, or
I think so. We begged them. No,
no. They're just they're the best label for the chemistry between the band and the label. It's really, really important if you're a band and you're going to put out a record. You have to feel at home, you have to feel comfortable, and you have to put 100% of your trust in these people. And, they're okay with us asking questions, and we're okay with them asking questions about us. It's a great relationship.
Sounds really great. That's true. So hopefully everything will go well, not like with the other label. And I read somewhere that you recorded the album, so on your own, of course, because you haven't got a label, and you recorded it at Derek's house. Is that true?
Yeah,
a lot of it.
Yeah.
And how? Does he have a studio in there, or how did you manage that?
Yeah, the drums were recorded at our recording studio, and then a lot of the other stuff was recorded at Derek's house. He's got a studio, he's got a room kind of like this that he's kind of made into a studio. But the good thing about this album too was that we could, the way things are nowadays with internet record, like file transferring and stuff, how it's come such a long way. He was able to like send us recording sessions through the internet. And I could like record bass at my own house, and he could do some guitar parts at his own house. So it's easy to transfer files nowadays and just do things wherever you want, all over the world, because him and I live in Toronto and Derek lives in LA. So it gets kind of costly to be flying back and forth all the time. So it was good to be able to just like be at our houses doing stuff as well.
Yeah.
And it was kind of less stress then.
We didn't have a record label either, and so at that point, when you don't have a record label, because the record label is always the one that is kind of like on you to like finish the record, and when is it ready? Can I hear something? Can I come by the studio and hear stuff? And that was kind of, being on a major, they always wanted to hear demos and the process and know what's going on. So we didn't have that anymore. So it was just more of a relaxed process where we could just take our time and record for as long as we wanted, really.
Okay.
No deadlines.
I think this is better for the record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, better for the stress and better for performance as well.
And how did it feel for you? I mean, you've always been a 4-piece band and now you're 5. And was it different, or was it just, oh yeah, Dave's back and all's good?
I mean, it sounds bigger for sure. I mean, anything that's different is an absolute positive, because it's like, it's parts that weren't able to be covered before when we were live, we can now play the 3 different guitar parts. And it's just the chemistry between all the musicians now is just, it's awesome.
Ah, perfect. And we all know that Derek wasn't well the last 4 years before this album. And was there ever a point when you were like, oh damn, this is getting serious, or what is going on with Derek or with the band?
Yeah, I mean, mostly I was worried about him. When he was going through, I mean, the whole last touring cycle of Scream Bloody Murder was kind of, it evolved, like his drinking evolved more and more and more, and like it got, by the end it got really bad, and then we stopped touring, and then we kind of went home and took a break from the band, and I guess he kept drinking more and more as well when he got home. So I was mostly just concerned about him, because I've known him since we've known him since we were 14 years old. We went through high school together, and we were friends before we were even in this band. So watching him go through that was, it was really difficult. So I didn't, when I got home, I didn't really, I don't want to say I didn't care about the band, but I didn't think about the band. I was thinking about how, what he was going through and how tough it was probably to go through that. And then obviously when he went to the hospital, that was kind of the worst possible scenario. And it was just mostly more about him than the band. Once he got well and we started talking again, then we started bringing up the band again later on.
I mean, yeah, this totally makes sense. I totally can understand this. And in one interview with Derek, I read that he said this album, this record, literally saved his life. And so what do you think about this, or what does 13 Voices mean to you?
For me personally, of course, it is the record that saved my friend's life. Of course, it's awesome, but it's just kind of like a reuniting, and we're not at the same status that we were in the early 2000s, so we're fighting and we're hungry, and I think that's one thing that this band has never had a lack of, and it's pretty awesome to be a part of it again.
Take a look around, you really blew it all to hell. What's the point of trying unless you're gonna do it well? So get off my back if I'm a goddamn misery.